Hey there, comic book fans. I am back from the comic shop again this week. And this week, got 5 comics and a magazine. Plus, I swapped out a damaged comic. And I'll show you the 4 books I got. I showed them off on our Friday night show, but I got them on Friday, so I didn't show them on my pull list haul last week. But let's start out with our top of the printer museum covers. Sit on top of my printer and I look at all week. We got a Whilce Portacio Wetworks. I haven't looked at these in so long. I barely even remember the series. This is issue number 6. Whoever that is. I don't remember. Then we've got Captain Marvel, issue 22. This is a Gil Kane and I think Frank Giacoia cover. There's a classic up-the-nose Gil Kane shot of a guy running away. How many times did he... he drew the up-the-nose shot all the time, but often on covers he'd have a guy running away in front with an up-the-nose shot. Captain Marvel versus Megaton, the atomic assassin. So I had these 2 sitting on top of my printer all week that I could look at. It was one of those Marvel 10th anniversary covers, too. It's in the box. Looked at them all week. Now I'll pull 2 new ones out. Let's see, what comics did I get? Let's start with the Uncanny X-Men number 8, the Chris Geruso cover. This is the 4th of 4. I think it's Uncanny X-Men 7 and 8, and X-Men 8 and 9. He recreated the Jim Lee, Scott Williams, and Joe Rosas colored it. Joe Rosas, I know from back in my Marvel days, he was making some comments on my show last week, and I was showing off another Chris Geruso cover, and I was asking Joe if he colored, because Marvel had a cover colorist, George Roussos, and sometimes Paul Becton, but occasionally the interior artist would color the covers, and Jim Lee asked if he could have Joe Rosas color the covers too. So Joe actually colored those original Jim Lee covers. What do we got here? What's the furthest place from here? Number 21. 21 issues. That's a pretty good run so far. Oh yeah, who did this Uncanny X-Men? I don't even notice. I didn't give you the credits. Let me see if I can find them. Because they're not on the cover for this issue. They're somewhere in here. Oh, there's the credits. Gail Simone, writer. Javier Garron, artist. Matthew Wilson, colorist. There we go. Clayton Cowell is our letterist. VCs. And then this is Boss and Rosenberg. What Atswami El-How as the letterer. Atsmain El-How. I could never know how to pronounce his name. But this one's been fun. It's the world without adults, and these kids all lived in these societies based on some little theme. And our kids, their store burnt down, and they've been wandering the world, looking for their place. And they just found another. I think these kids lived in a record store, so their theme was music and record store. And they just have wandered for 21 issues now, or maybe not 21. And they just found another record store, and they're like, whoa, what? Then we got Napalm Lullaby, issue number 8. This is the one about a Superman-like character being found in as a baby by a religious cult. And by the time he's an adult, the religious cult has taken over the world because of him. And these are his out-of-wedlock children who are trying to set the world right. But meanwhile, one of the children, her powers have gone berserk, and she's kind of taking over the world too, unbeknownst to her or something like that. It's weird. But it's been a fun story so far. This is Rick Remenders writing it, and Bengal is drawing it. I've enjoyed it so far. And then the Reborn Snot Girl, number 17. Issue 16, which came out last month, was the first Snot Girl issue in, I don't know, 5 years. I think 20. Oh, I can't remember. It's been a long time. It's by the Scott Pilgrim guy who's writing it, Brian Lee O'Malley, and Leslie Hung is drawing it. It's about a fashion blogger influencer. It's this weird little story. Sometimes slice of life and sometimes just weird. At least to me. But I'm surprised that it came back. And with the same numbering. And here's one. I don't know if this came out a couple weeks ago or not, and they had to reorder it for me. But it's Long Cold Winter #1. I somehow missed this, I think. And I think I saw someone said it came out 2 weeks ago, so I had them reorder it. And it's because Stefano Cardacelli is the artist. I like his art. I've been buying his stuff from Mad Cave. There's another Mad Cave book, yep. And the writer is Francesca Perillo, Lorenzo Scaramella, and Buddy Bedouin. Let's see. Lorenzo is the colorist, and Buddy Bedouin is the letterer. I have no idea what this is about. If Stefano Cardacelli is drawing a book, I'm buying it, so that's why I got Long Cold Winter. I think it's 4 issues. I enjoy his art a lot. He's the one, if you watch our Friday night show, when we do our read, rip, and slabs and add flamingos to things, he's the reason we add flamingos to things. Oh, and here's the one. I got this a few weeks ago, but all the copies were damaged. So I was like, he's like, do you want it? He's like, he sent in for reorders. So I brought mine back to get an undamaged one. It was just the corners up here were crunched. So he can return that one now for credit, and I've got an undamaged one. And this is what I picked up off the shelf. We have got back issue number, what is that, 157? I haven't bought an issue of back issue in so long, but I wanted a Keith Giffen tribute issue. I said, you know what? I'll go for that. I'd like to know a little more about Keith Giffen. I certainly know his work, but I never met him, and I don't know a lot about him. Keith Giffen's 20th greatest hits contributors. So that's Masters of Comic Art, featuring art by Paul Smith, Arthur Adams, John Cassaday, John Byrne, and Walter Simonson. I guess there's a Masters of Comic Art magazine, too. I haven't bought that one. But I look forward to reading that. Now let me show you the hardcover books I got. And once again, the story behind this is I've been saving up my Amazon credit card points to get the Hate oversized box set. Runs about $100. I think I've saved up credit card points for it about 3 times over the last 2 years and still haven't bought it. And that's what I used those $100 worth of credit card points on Richard Corbin. Just because I was like, you know what? I may as well get these before they go out of print. And the color looks terrific, the color restoration. And I got this too because I've never read all this Richard Corbin. I've probably read 20% of Richard Corbin's output, I would guess, if that. So I'm looking forward to reading all this. I was like, and I really want to get that Hate box set. But I've already got it in individual issues and in the smaller trade paperback. So I'm like, you know what? Once again, I should just buy that Hate box set at some time. But for some reason, it's such an extravagance and something I don't really need that I feel it necessary to use credit card points on it. And these were about, I think that one was 20, and these others were like either 20 or 23. But there's 1, 2, and 3 of Den, or 1, 3, and 2 as the case may be. This is one of his recurring characters. What is this? This is volume 2. There's volume 1, and I'll have to show you it without its dust cover on. They give us the full artwork. So there it is dust cover and without its dust cover. And I just noticed on the end paper here, they give us a nice big shot. But who was doing it? Jose Villarubio was doing the color restoration on this. Art restoration and project art director Jose Villarubio. I've seen him pop up on Facebook, and he showed some of the restoration he was doing on it, and it just looks terrific. It printed terrific. So I look forward to reading some Richard Corbin I've never read before. Let me show you a little of my work. What do we got back here? We got two things I'll show you. We'll start with Dreams of Things. Number 261. That one's pretty cool. That one's all about her face. And the two little faces out of her shoulders. Lots of spikes and horns on her shoulders and head. Was that a clam in the middle of her chest? I am not sure. That one's sort of the sideways electric sky behind her. Like I said, these dreamlike images, I don't always know where they come from. I pull them out of my head somewhere. Eggs with their windows we see through here to different worlds. And then I finished up, I think I may have showed these last year. This is ink on paper and computer coloring. Last night I dreamt I had a true love is the series. I've got this series of dreamy women. I don't know if they're dreaming they have a true love or I'm dreaming she was my true love, whichever one. You see, lots of textures. There's hidden type in here that says the same thing. Last night I had a true love. I like the way this one came out. I've done about 3 of these so far. I actually finished up another one, but I didn't like it as much. I like the blues in this one. But I've got a few more that I started. I'm gonna keep I haven't worked on this particular theme in a little while. But who doesn't need more melancholy, wistful art in the world? So anyway, there were some comics, there were some hardcovers, there was some art. You guys have a good week out there.